In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a couple of ornaments that are not with items that you would expect. So if you want to learn how and see what they're made of, then follow me. What's up, Glue Dots? I'm Elaine, the Midnight Crafter, and I am looking forward to showing you these little guys, how to make them. And it's not what you would think. I don't think, anyway, you would think, because I would have never thought, but anyway. So before we get to that, hit that subscribe button down below if you want to join this goofy Glue Dot family of ours. We have a lot of fun here. We do. Anyway, and if you hit that bell next to it, it will inform you every time I upload a new video. I love hearing from you all, so please feel free to leave me comments if you have any questions, and if you like this craziness, give me a good old thumbs up. Anyway, I think right now I need to show you this DIY. This one is so fun because it's so easy and looks so amazing. So first thing we're gonna do, I think I just said so like 4 times in like 10 seconds. Anyway, first thing we're gonna do is take our Mod Podge and our ornament, and I like to just put it directly on the ornament because just one less thing to get dirty. And spread it on there fairly thick because we're gonna be putting the rice on there, and we want that rice to have something to stick to. So go over the whole thing, spread it nicely, and just as you would sprinkle it with glitter, we're going to be sprinkling this with rice. And it's really funny because it made me start thinking, how many different things could we actually use? I know people use Epsom salt and of course glitter. So many options for texture on things. So start being creative. Let me know if you come up with anything unusual that you are sprinkling things with for texture that you're painting over after. I would be really interested to know. I bet there's some incredibly creative things out there that you can quote unquote glitter things with. So, or texture things with, I should say. Put plenty, but you don't want it to be drippy either, because if there's too much, then the rice won't be able to stick to that either. It will just fall right off. Okay, now that I've got it all on here, you don't have to rush working too quickly, but don't drag your heels either. We are gonna take the rice, so we're just gonna dump the rice on here and coat this whole thing. And then also what I like to do to help out with the bottom is make almost like a little pile here. This way you can kind of dip it into it. I would dip it in here, but this is the rice we actually eat from, so I'm not gonna do that because I don't need to be having extra Mod Podge in my diet. I'm sure I get a good dose of all these other things while my crafting is happening. So having that little pile there, it's nice because then you can set it down and turn the ornament as well while you're kind of getting it sprinkled. If there's any bare spots, you can see I'm kind of patting it down onto some of the spots that I feel like maybe I could help it along a bit. All right, now the hardest part for me, so you guys can know my crafting challenge, is waiting for this darn thing to dry. I'm so impatient, like I just want to see things done. So what I'm just gonna do is put a little ribbon or string or something through this and just hang it and let it dry, and we'll know it's dry once our Mod Podge is transparent. So as long as it's white and milky, it's still too early. Just tying my string on. Also, having the string on here is going to help you when you are spray painting it so that you don't have to try and hold it and spin it. So, okay, Patience, patience. I guess it's not one of my virtues. Oh, we're just gonna have to wait. All right, so we'll be back as soon as that's dry. Okay, I don't have a clue if this is gonna work or not, but I'm recording it just because if it does work, it'd be just my luck to not have recorded it. So possibly it could look amazing and possibly it could be a complete flop, but we're gonna find out. What I have right here is I spray painted some glass. I sprayed it gold on the one side like we do a lot for our projects. And after it dried, it turned out that I didn't want it to be gold after all. So once it dried, I took a razor blade and the straight edge razor, and I scraped it completely off. And I thought the shavings looked really pretty. So I saved them. I know, what a random thing to save, but this is the kind of weird stuff that I do. So I'm really curious how this is gonna work out if I try and use that as like a glitter or as something to coat this ornament with. And I had a small, happens to be heart shaped, but I happen to have this small ornament. So I'm gonna give it a try. And like I said, you're learning with me. So this is what crafting is about. It's experimenting and trying things. Some work, some absolutely do not. But let's see. I'll be very, very curious. Don't need to put the Mod Podge on too thick in this case because that's just kind of fine paint dust, really. And I figure that's a lot cheaper than gold leafing. Not that it's the same thing, but I don't know. Let's check it out. Full of questions here. Let's see what we get here. So far, kind of interesting. All right, we'll let this dry along with the other one and see how it goes. And then I think I may end up spraying this with like a clear coat just to seal this, or I don't know, maybe may use a shiny Mod Podge brushing over it. Not so sure yet, but we'll let this dry and we'll go from there. So now that our ornament is completely dry and you can see that it's more transparent and there's no milky whiteness of the Mod Podge, we're gonna go spray paint this. I'm gonna do mine silver because that's the chunky glitter that I have, but you can do it gold or rose gold or any color that you would like. Okay, hang on. Okay, now so because this one is my experimental one, I'm gonna do it with you as though I was doing it without you, and I am going to kind of mash down the gold, see what happens here. Nothing overly exciting, but I think what I might do is put a little extra on there and see. I don't know, this I think is just too much effort. What I probably should have done instead of mashing it down is just giving it a good spray with a clear lacquer or whatever, spray can, whatever you call it, just to keep that texture. Because right now it's almost kind of just like a very, very fine glitter, but it's so much easier to just buy glitter than it is to go through the effort of doing that. So, anyway, that's what my experiment revealed, but so you guys got to be a part of that. Nothing that interesting. I'm sure I'll salvage this somehow. Actually, I do have some of the chunky pieces of my scraped paint left, so I think I might try Mod Podging a little bit more on here and throw those chunky pieces on and then give it a clear coat. So hopefully you guys don't mind this little rant of mine, but I think it's kind of nice sometimes to see what the experimental process brings and see how crafters do come up with some of their ideas. If you don't like this part, Just fast forward. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Okay, here's what it looks like now. And I'm gonna go ahead and spray paint the clear on it right now, just because. And let's see what happens. I kind of like it like this. It's very antique-y gold leafy looking. So let's see if that clear makes it stay that way. Okay, back to previously scheduled programming. We'll get back to our ornament. So this is how it looks spray painted. I think it's really pretty, and you could leave it just like this, but it just needs a bit more, you know, for us glam girls and boys. But if you are a glam person, definitely need more. What did I do with my glitter? Oh my goodness. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing with this, instead of, because I don't want to cover this whole thing in glitter, I'm going to be just tapping in some areas here with my Mod Podge, and that way it'll just be stuck in various places as opposed to the entire ornament getting covered, because then that would kind of defeat the purpose of our race. Defeat. I don't even know what I'm saying. Okay. I'm going to start with that and see how that works out. Oh goodness, that came out quicker than I expected. And the last little thing we're going to do to this ornament is put a beautiful bow on the top. Of course, let it dry and then put a beautiful bow on the top and show you the finished product.